Into the hood, the Whites Marine number J2.
Scott Bench behind him out of Jamestown, North Dakota. Ben and his pseudo teammate for the weekend. In the other red-headed Rebel the RHR swag, number 1P, Parker Anderson. Other drivers on the track, Jacob Smith in the 21. Behind of him, Ben.
That'll be Cole Campbell.
It is
car
Cole
22,
Campbell.
the
Yep,
Mexico,
Missouri driver.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Yes,
Ben,
sir.
did you set your dirtdraft.com lineups yet?
I did not. It has been a very busy
I did
afternoon.
terrible. I did terrible last night. I'm not going to lie. I was like 180th or something. Tyler
But you
Rankin
tried.
in the modifieds was
Yep.
like 6th last night.
Yeah, but did he win? No, there were 5 people better than him. I don't want to hear it. Car number 47 rolling off into turn number 3, the 2021 Vado Speedway Track Champion, Mingo Haudegui in the AOS chassis, AOS Racing Engine under the hood as well, and that R&M Courier Services white and fluorescent colored number 47 for Mingo Haudegui, last year's track champion here. And car number 4 right behind him, that's going to be Jackson Mulder out of Dune, Iowa, the Razor chassis, automated waste system, the Jong Farms, car number 4.
We picked up Josh Kane, it
did.
looks like.
Yeah, he had some bad luck over at Kokopah Speedway, his new car, some damage on it. They brought the 3J out here looking for some luck. A 23-time winner last year was the driver of that number 3J, Josh Kane. Also in this set will be Greg Gorham, car number 93 out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. The 14J making his way out as well. Justin Garrett out of Deming, New Mexico.
Justin Garrett, Dustin Jarrett, who could
get confused?
Who could
Nobody.
get confused there, that's right.
I'll tell you what, a driver that did everything he could do to win last night came up a little bit short, and that's Andy Bryan. He'll be looking for redemption here today.
Man, he threw everything but the kitchen sink.
If he could have found
Chris
it, he would have
Jackson,
threw it at
he
him.
might have as well, man. He was right there. That was a real good race, especially those X-Mods. Once they got the cautions out of the system there, those first few laps, I think the last 10, 12 laps of it went all the way to the finish, man. He was right there knocking on the back door. He had to run a few times up on the high side of the racetrack, especially coming off the corners. And Chris Jackson, he was able to keep him at bay, man. He was running a line that made it hard to pass. Andy Bryant did what he could. We thought maybe when lap traffic got in front of him, he was going to be able to get by, and he just couldn't quite do it. We'll see if he's got anything for Chris Jackson and the other 40 X mods here this evening.
G3 on the screen. Last night that was Brian Craighead. Today that'll be Fito Gallardo. He'll be pulling double duty today. As again,
driver by committee.
That's the revolving door car. Hang on to it as Jacob Hodge is having some trouble, and he'll park it down in turn number 3. Racetrack very greasy right now, as it's been overcast today, which is a good thing, but it's also been windy. So track crews putting water on the racetrack, making sure that she's going to be good to go with over 125. I think last count 127 cars in the pit area. So we're going to have everything dialed in and ready to rock as Midwest Sheet Metal Yellow Light has turned out and the C&D Bonding green flag back out on the speedway. We talked about Andy Bryant coming home in second last night, car number 28. Also in this set, Asa Flores right behind him in the 5 car rolling out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. The Las Cruces, New Mexico driver. He's got power under the hood, Dustin, from Montoya Mule Farm. You don't get too many Montoya Mule Farm power plants under the hood. That's what Asa Flores has got in that Shaw race car.
Yeah, no doubt. As we look down through these X-Mod times right now, Cole Campbell right now the fastest driver with a 20.082, again getting some of the slime pulled off of this racetrack. Fito Gallardo stepping behind the wheel of the G3, second quick right now with a 20.092. I got a feeling this is going to be one of these racetracks where it is going to get better and better as the night goes on, and knock on wood, I don't know that we're going to see very many, if any, track prep. Maybe one little track prep break.
Did you just jinx
after
it?
the B's? Yes, I did. After the B's, before the features, maybe. I just, it's got that look to it, I think.
Oh my, he's
Sorry,
saying it's got the look. Wow.
It's got the look.
It's an 80s song, maybe an early 90s.
That's
look.
right.
That's right. Now, we're dating ourselves now because we're very old. So, all right. Well, the checkered flag is going to drop on that set. As we'll see how many we had come out. We've had 26, maybe one more wave of RHRSwag.com X Mods presented by Barnett Harley Davidson. Well, we talked about Josh Kane making his first appearance of the weekend here with this New Mexico native and that 3J.
A longtime Wild West Shootout supporter and ally.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to have him in the house with us here today as the next set of cars make their way out. Reese Solander. Yes, sir. The Kansas driver in car number 5. Another Kansas driver behind him will be Andrew Hodges.
Is that Cat Daddy behind him?
That is not Cat Daddy.
Okay.
That's Christy.
Cat Mama.
Cat Mama, that's right. Cat Mommy. Yeah, mommy in that car. That'll be Christy Georges Barnett. That MB Customs Barnett Harley Davidson number 44. I think she might be pulling double duty here today.
I saw the A-Mod unloaded back there.
That's
in the
right.
pits.
Sam Alonso out of El Paso, New Mexico, in car number 66 behind her. That'll be the number 96 car. Dusty Riggs out of Hatch, New Mexico. The Shaw race car. DR Electric, Hometown Hardware, number 96.
Gabe Hodges in the 7G, a good run for him last night. A few other drivers on the track. Damon Sanchez in the 21. I think the car in front of him, Ben, in the 25. Is that Kenny McDonald
That's
out
right.
there in the 25?
Missouri driver.
The Kenny Mac trucking entry.
That's right. And the 241, seen him for the first time this week. David J. Jr. out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. The J Racing engine. Smiley's chassis, sponsored by Sun City Performance. Would love to see Sun City here today. We've been on the cusp of it all day. You've kind of been able to see the cloud line just off to our west, and it is set up shop all day today, and we'd love to see it come and visit us.
Can we do anything to get that, to push that over this way? Do you know of anything that can be done there?
I'm open to it. I am open to it.
You have an engineering degree. You ought to be able to figure something out, right?
Yeah, not a meteorologist, though,
Okay.
and definitely not capable of that.
Boy, if you were a meteorologist, that would make all of our lives. If you could just control the weather,
right.
actually, that would make all of our
It
lives
would.
a lot easier.
Getting the racetrack sealed in a little bit. The third partner of our broadcast crew down in the infield, Trenton Berry. Trent, I have tested that mic. You've tested it.
The moment
What
of
is the
truth.
verdict, my friend?
Here we go.
Oh, baby. I like it already.
How about it? How about it?
Well, we're glad you came back today, Trent, because we really thought you were going to leave the state, and we wouldn't have judged you if you had after last night.
It took a lot of persuading and alcohol to get him to come back.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, so we've had no persuasion, and I've been dry so far on the trip. So, for the record.
So far.
Yeah.
So
For the
far.
record. Boy, I'm glad to be back. I'm with you guys. I think they did get a lot of moisture in this thing combined with the weather that we're facing today. Boy, I don't see how they'll have to be on the racetrack as much as they were yesterday. And with this stiff breeze that's blowing from my left to right, I'll call that a good thing.
Yeah, we were Ben and I were talking about that a little bit earlier, Trenton, that the wind has shifted directions today from what it was yesterday.
Yeah, it sure has, and it's a little more fierce today. But we're doing good. Hey, one thing I want you two up there in the booth to keep an eye on, J3 that's right over here at the Rio Grande banner, in the Rio Grande Way Services banner in Turn 4.
Yes, sir.
He has no sort of jacket on, no long sleeves. We're out here in short sleeves. I want to see how long this plays out today.
Well,
so.
I think he needs to just commit to it. He starts the night that way,
Yeah.
and he needs to lock it down.
He might be the offensive lineman of the crew. You know how it gets in football when it's cold. It's the linemen are the ones that don't wear the long sleeves. So.
Well, I tell you what, Trent, last night we talked about it. Chris Jackson getting the win, Andy Bryant in second, back today. Can Chris Jackson do it again?
Yeah, no, I think for sure. I think Chris Jackson's certainly capable of doing it again. But, we saw last night and in this X-Mod field, there won't be a gimme. There's several cars that are capable of unseating that J2, but he's certainly capable of knocking a lot of good runs down and multiple wins throughout the course of this week for sure, guys.
Well, if he would, Ben, he would be halfway towards the 4 or more bonus that would be on the line here this weekend as well for the RHR Swag X-Mods presented by Barnett Harley Davidson.
Yeah, he's trying to go from that Arizona differential, ponying up that money, $2,500 in the X-Mods if you can win 4 or more races. And, man, he was awful strong last night. We'll see what he can do here today as we got one slow off of turn number 4.
I think it's the 241.
It is going to be the 241 of David J. Jr. David JJ, if you will. And Jay is going to draw the Midwest Sheet Metal caution as Chris Davis gets his money's worth right out of the gate here today.
Chris was maybe shortchanged a little last night. We didn't have as many cautions.
Trent?
I talked to Chris a little bit earlier today, and I still, guys, I kind of wonder how in the world, a lot of the world doesn't know this, but I wind up and play Chris Davis' personal tech support for a lot of these races that he watches across various platforms, and I'm still not for sure that he'll be able to keep his iPad running this entire next week. So we're going to definitely need to, you guys are going to need to stay close to your cell phones.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see.
Team players we are.
That's right. That's exactly right. We enjoy Chris. You talked about some of the drivers being longtime supporters. Chris Davis, Midwest Sheet Metal, longtime supporter of this event, longtime supporter of a lot of events and a lot of things racing. We're real happy to have him and Midwest Sheet Metal back on board with us here in 2022 at the Wild West Shootout presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. The track is slowly coming in here. Solander down to the 19-second flat range. That is by far the best lap we've seen anyone. Oh, no.
Oh, no. That's not a tire rub smoke either, I don't know. The 96 car. Riggs having a little bit of trouble. That smoke goes away. No, maybe it.
It's definitely coming out from.
Yeah,
it's coming out from the headers.
Well, we'll get Trent to take a look at that. We figured out last night he is a master crew chief. So yeah, he's nodding his head down there. Oh, that's a big nasty puff of smoke right there.
Uh-oh.
Not an expert, but that is not up, and he's going to take it to the infield. All right, well. That hometown hardware number 96 may need some new equipment under the hood of that race car as the Hatch New Mexico driver.
May need some hardware to work on it.
Well, if he hadn't slowed down, that's when it started smoking. You just stay in the green
stay in the gas.
Yeah.
Hey, you know they always run better just before they're getting ready to go. They say
until they don't. Until they
don't
go,
anymore,
and then they don't run at all.
So I talked to I think that should be the last group of X mods. Ben, as we get ready to. Well, it may be steam, Kelly Carlton says. So we get ready to roll out our modified division here this evening. The Mesilla Valley Transportation USRA Modifieds presented by Border Tire. You see the smoke coming out from the 96. I was talking to Tanner Mullins in the pits actually a little bit ago. He put a hole in the radiator of his race car last night. So the water pressure or the water temp went up, he said. But luckily it held on. He said he felt like he did it probably about 2 or 3 laps to go. He said luckily it didn't happen anything before then, or he would have had to pull in and relinquish that 6th place finishing position that he got.
Yeah, that could have been a much worse situation there. As the next set of cars are coming out, Corey Hemphill, the Yuma, Arizona driver, and car number 26.
Other drivers on the speedway in this group behind Corey Hemphill is Terry Tipton, who ran with us last night in the 99T. Daniel Miller in the 7M behind of him. Also on the track in the 51, that's Dallas Caldwell, the white 51 that is rolling down the back straightaway. There's a good look at the 32G, a new entry here this evening. Behind of him is the white 51. There's Dallas Caldwell on the right-hand side of your screen. Also on the track in this hot lap session is the driver, the number 28. That's Corey Davis. He's the next car in line on the speedway. The 21K, Ben, was not with us last night. That's Brian Klein.
Yeah, a few new faces in the pit area in all the divisions here today. As looking around the racetrack, car number 51, talked about him, Dallas Caldwell, the Tucson, Arizona driver, the environmental management, Shaw chassis with Klein power under the hood.
Over in turn number 3, a very sharp-looking number 16 car. That is downtown Randy Brown out of Chowchilla, California. He is a longtime IMCA modified campaigner coming out here, going to try his luck in the desert this weekend.
Yeah, I think the only PCD race car in the pit area. Tim's Automotive Power under that, DRC Plumbing 16B.
Those PCD race cars have really picked up steam in the last few years as well. Back home over in my area, actually Travis Dixon's third-generation campaigner out of Gallipolis, Ohio.
Well, we've seen Alex Stanford have luck in him here at the Wild West Shootout. Rolling through turn number 1, the 08 of Glen Maga out of Swan River, Manitoba, the GRT Red Wine Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Sign here number 808. You see him on your screen. Behind him, the good chiropractor. That'll be the 28 car of Tom Georges out of El Paso, Texas, the Georges Chiropractic and Wellness Center, TNT-powered AOS race car you see on your screen. We talked about Corey Hemphill in the 26th, the Yuma, Arizona driver, the 99 of Terry Tipton rolling out of turn number 2. Out of Duncan, Arizona, the MB Customs Pro Power 4, Tipton Construction 9-Tech entry.
There's Baudet.
That's just love it. One of my favorite cars in the pit area. Baudet's number 4.
Your reigning Tom's Modified Series champion. Behind him, pulling out the backup, or either the backup or a brand new car. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, David Tanner in the D25.
Yeah, he's got that one. He had a red D25 yesterday.
Yes.
Today's got a white D25, the Wichita Falls, Texas driver, the MB Custom Wichita Tank Racing entry.
That's a new car, just by looking
It looks awful pretty.
It is very sharp.
It's nice, even, and straight. Also in this set, the J7 car of Jake Bowles out of Alamogordo, New Mexico. He rolls out of turn number 4 in the yellow and blue J7. There you see him on your screen, right in front of him. You talked about him, Dustin, the 21K of Brian Klein out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. First time that we've seen him this weekend.
And a few cars in front of that, one other driver that we missed in a new entry this evening is underneath the O'Reilly Auto Parts banner over in turns 1 and 2, now flashing underneath that Rancho Milagro video board. That car, the 32G, that is Tag Georges out of El Paso, Minnesota.
I mean, we got a lot of Georges in the pit area. We've got a lot of Gallardos in the pit area. I mean, we've got some family affairs. We got the Amadas.
A Garrett and a Jarrett here.
Yeah, we got the Hodges. We got roofs and roughs and lids. Somebody else just totally debunked the debate yesterday. They said it's lids on a race car.
Yes, which would be a good compromise.
Yeah, I can live with that. I'm surprised you don't call it a lid or something. So
I think you may have won the roof versus roof debate last night when you said the roof is on fire.
My favorite hometown in the pit area, the 7M, rolling off into turn number 1, right behind that 99. There he is, the 7M. That's Daniel Miller out of Bar None, Wyoming. And that Harris Automotive Miller Welding number 7M. We're going to be looking for a bar come tomorrow, especially with the national championship game up on, as we're here in Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Yes.
Are you okay over there, buddy?
Yes. Well,
that is just water in that bottle, right?
I wasn't sure that I could spit water that far out my nose, actually, when you talked about looking for a bar tomorrow night.
Yes. Found one at the house last night, courtesy of Dustin Jarrett, so we appreciate it.
Dustin Jarrett, barista and bartender services.
Whoa, hang on to it. Daniel Miller not getting up to speed down the front straightaway into turn 1, and that 7M is going to draw the Midwest Sheet Metal caution. I think that Chris Davis has got to these guys.
He's paid someone off.
He has promised them some sheets of sheet metal in exchange for some cautions. And a drive shaft.
No.
You're going to want that every time. Trent, why didn't you go grab it, buddy?
Well, I didn't see it in time, but
would you if you'd seen it?
Yeah, I would have.
All right, we're going to hold you to that
for
one.
sure.
He would have ran out there just to get the blood circulating.
Yeah. Let's say J3 needed it. He needed to just sweat for a second.
Man, when that sweat cools down on him, though, it's going to be an interesting situation.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that one in time. I should have been out there. I was not quite Johnny on the spot.
Well, you can get the next piece of debris. It might be a whole rear end, but you're going to have to grab it.
Trenton could do like Blake did at
build a race car.
Yeah, he could build a race car down there. I mean, because Trenton.
Gosh, I hope we don't get enough parts to build a race car here.
Well, the drivers don't either. So
yeah.
Well, the 71 car. How about him, Trenton? Philip Houston. Philip, obviously, longtime modified veteran. He won quite a few races in a late model the past few years as well.
He did. He's a great guy and works in the oil field industry around here. Double H Bands is his business. Longtime friends. You see that S&S Fishing and Rental. He and Shane Sprinkle are tied as well. Philip's a great guy, hard-nosed racer. He's been all across the country and kind of settled in back here the last few years around his home territory. Raced the late model a bunch. Won a lot of good modified races, too, throughout his career. So one of the nicest guys in the pits.
He's been a very loyal supporter of this event. He had 9 wins last year, 3 in the late model, 6 in the modified. He brings the modified here this weekend, and he's going to go after his first win of the year. And car number 4 right there behind him. We talked about him, Bo Day, and talked about him a little bit last night. Trent, not only a great-looking race car, but a very well-accomplished driver.
Yeah, he is, certainly. And, you know, that Hornet's Nest out of the DFW area, he's one of the ones when they roll in that you always have to look for. And there's a handful of those guys out of Dallas that really get out in the race. And cool to see Bo Day here.
I think, guys, taking a look at the Bo Day's number 4, I did not get a chance to talk to him there, Ben, but it looks like that is a different car for Bo Day as well. It does
look a little bit
It doesn't
different.
have the holographic numbers on it. It's got like a reflective road sign type number 4 on the side of it. There's a good look at Philip Houston, who we were just talking about in the 71.
Did you say reflective road sign look to it? I mean, what are we doing?
Oh, yeah, no, the road sign, like when you flash your lights, it's got the like the white outline on them, you know, it's got the reflective.
Okay, I'm with you. It took me a minute to catch up.
I'm from Ohio, as you say. My choice of words is,
I'm from the South, so I'm a little slower than you are.
We got the roof versus roof debate. That's right.
Work with me. I'm a little slow.
May need a translator here for both of us.
If Jack Sullivan was here, we need a translator.
I still want to get Jack Sullivan and Crazy Martin together.
You wouldn't need a translator. You would need subscript, like closed captioning is what you would need.
I'll tell you what I need is this ginormous chocolate bar that the Hunzikers gave me back in the pit area that is straight from Switzerland.
It's contraband.
It is.
Better eat it. I will report you. Well, right now, Terry Tipton, the fastest car in this set, in car number 99, as racetrack still coming in, Dustin. Still a little bit on the slimy side, but she's getting there. The Duncan, Arizona driver, the fastest lap so far, 17.734. And then Jake Bowles, 17.767 as they're getting it ironed in. And hopefully, as Trent said, starting the afternoon a little bit wetter than it was yesterday. It's more overcast. It's cooler today. We're going to be able to get by without maybe one set of track prep. As don't look now, but Jake Bowles, you got some trouble, buddy.
Yes, he does. He'd turned the second fastest lap as well.
Because you know why?
Because you jinxed him?
No, because it's always faster
That's
right
right.
before.
That's exactly
that
right.
did not look like steam, but we'll find out. He'll head back to the pit area. Hopefully he's able to make it out for heat race action. So both modified divisions will compete in passing points. They drew for their starting spots in their heats. The top 16 in passing points out of heats for the mods and the X mods move off to the main event. Everybody else will be in one of two B mains. Top 4 out of each one of those B mains move on as the next set of cars start to make their way out. It's going to be led by...
I like that shot.
That is a cool shot.
Yeah.
Grand Saline, Texas driver Casey Fowler leads the next set of cars out, and that Texas Locomotive Solutions, Salt City Storage, Hatfield, power number 64 for Casey Fowler. And behind him, Rodney Sanders in the 20. One is B main from 18th. He said he almost didn't go out there, and I said, what happened in the heat? And he said, I just messed up and spun out. And he goes, almost didn't go out for the B. And I said, well, you made a lot of fans because you did.
And he's in a different car tonight as well.
Yes.
Rodney Sanders is.
Yeah, I mean, he's. You would think if you won the B main from 18th, you would ride with
and
that.
And then 17th, the 5th
Yes.
of the feature, yeah.
You would think, but not so much.
Pretty solid group of cars rolling out here
That
for this
is.
hot lap session, Benji.
Bumper Jones in the 111 out there. 3 wins last year. They came here at Vado Speedway Park, and they were all in a row
Yeah.
in April for Bumper Jones and that BLT Trucking Stone Power GRT by Phillips. And then the car 4R, 2 cars back from him, last night's feature winner, Derek Ramirez, won by 4 seconds in that 4R out of Woodward, Oklahoma. The Boom Test Well Services, Coda Services, Cornette-powered Hughes race car, and, of course, the 4R of Derek Ramirez, last year's USMTS national champion. You see him at the top of your screen there, rolling into that S&S Fishing and Rentals white and black and green car. We'll see what he can do here tonight.
Dustin Robinson behind of him in the white and blue number 10, coming off turn number 4. I like that
Well,
car.
you
That's
jumped
one
a
of my-
little bit, but yeah.
Oh,
You skipped
I
Carlos
I-
Amata Jr.
I skipped
and Brooks
Carlos Amata
Strength.
Jr. and Brooks Strength. Sorry about that.
You don't like the Southern guys. The Mississippi guy, you just skipped him altogether. You made fun of me last night.
I need to get out and apologize to both of them, don't
Yeah.
I? Carlos Amata Jr. in the silver 65. There he is over there. Again, picked up a win. You talk about, actually, there's your 2 winners on King of America weekend last year with the USMTS Modifieds. Carlos Amata Jr. picked up the win on Friday night, and, of course, Brooks Strength behind of him, and Kate Diller's number 97 got the big King of America win in Humboldt on Saturday night. Then Dustin Robinson behind of them in the 10.
And then
Thank
who
you
after
very
that?
much. Tanner Mullins, who I still owe gas money to. The
He'll never
Wichita,
get it.
Kansas driver in the 02. Like I said, talked to Tanner in the pit area a little bit earlier on this evening. Put a hole in the radiator last night with about 2 or 3 laps to go. Luckily, that thing held on. And he is back to race another day. And behind of him in the number 3B, it's going to be Nick Bittinger, your reigning track champion at the Lakeside Speedway,
Yep.
Ben, in just outside Kansas City.
Ronnie Leatham Jr. in car 28S.
Dylan
rolling
McCowan,
around.
Dylan McCowan behind of him. Sorry, buddy. In
you're good.
the number 8, another driver I talked to a little bit earlier on this evening, actually, and he said he's in a new race car for one. He said he's just kind of getting the feel of things out there. He said that this new race car. He said one of the things that he's learning is that this thing actually drives better the harder you drive it. And I said, well,
A personal car's like
I
that.
said, yeah, exactly. Yeah, a rental car as well.
Yeah,
I
a
said-
rental car wants to
They're
be driven that
yes,
way.
they always run better when you run them hard. But he said he was looking at the track and he said, I really think, he said, looking at this track tonight, he said, I think this 8 car is going to be really, really good here this evening. And then one other driver behind of him, actually a couple other drivers, Kurt Myers out there, the Wisconsin driver, and the 1M on the back straightaway, and over in the middle of turns 1 and 2 out of Wills Point, Texas in the 87, that's going to be Patrick Daniel.
Well, how
What you
about
got?
this? We've got a little bit of clarification. That 4 that we saw out there for Baudet, Tyler Stevens, Razor Edge Graphics, he did the graphics
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
The exact same car, the exact same graphics. It looks different
Oh.
between sunlight and when it's overcast.
Wow.
And he said it's the material he used on the car.
That's
and
cool.
How about that cutting edge? That breaking news, Trenton Berry, is we've got graphics that look different when it's overcast than when it's sunny. I mean, we're learning all kinds of stuff today, my friend.
All kinds of things out there. And, boy, Razor's Edge sure turns out a lot of nice-looking race cars, for sure.
They do, and sometimes Tyler even races when he can get out of the shop. He's going to run the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series this year for Rookie of the Year, the
Oh,
Super
cool.
Late model.
His cars always look good, yeah.
They,
I mean, when
they do look good. His wife,
Yeah.
Lindsay, of course, is the Stevens. We like talking to her more than Tyler, but we will tolerate Tyler. What about Tanner Mullins out there, Trenton, rolling through turn number 3 in that 02? They build the car, they build the motors,
Just
they do pretty dang good.
Old school, man. And you know what? They don't ever run into a lot of problems. You know, I think maybe he had motor issues one night, 2 nights this past year, and he and his dad work, and they built a few customer cars. They've actually I don't think it's quite public yet, but they've got a pretty good driver out on the USMTS Tour, going to be running a new Mullins chassis this year. So got a nice little business there in Wichita, and of course you see the MH Ford Racing on there. All those folks, Phil Nightingale and all the people there certainly do a lot to help keep Tanner going. He's awful proud of that, and the Sandlin Iron and Metal on there too. So Tanner's got a lot of great homegrown partnerships, and he's good on that side of the business as well, and just a great old school hard-nosed racer. I love everything about the program and what he brings to the racetrack.
Well, we talked about it last night. Trenton was supposed to be here already. Hopefully he's going to feel better and be here next weekend. He's a little under the weather, but Darren Fuqua, he's got one of those new Mullins race cars, and he was scheduled to be with us. Hopefully we'll see Darren next weekend, the 2018 USRA National Champion.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, guys, I'll throw a little teaser out there. Going to be another driver debuting, not here, another modified driver going to be debuting one of those home-built Mullins race cars here a little bit later on this year.
Is it Larry Jarrett?
You guessed it. No, it is not. It is not Larry Jarrett. It is not. Who you talked to earlier and declared that you were his favorite son.
He did. I did not declare it. He did, but yes, I was very proud of that.
He declared you were his favorite son. Yeah.
So Trenton, right now, the holdup, and you may see it down there, as we saw some smoke coming out of Bowles' car. He left some water out on the racetrack before he pulled to the infield. So right now, they are trying to roll that in before we go back green.
Okay, I was standing right here. News to me.
Right.
I must have missed that.
Well, hey, that's why we informed you.
I appreciate that.
I think it's worth mentioning that Trent's got more words in tonight than he did all of last night, because we could only get every 18th word from him last night. And Trenton,
just circa 2009 on the wireless. Sometimes those racers struggle and they say they just have to go back old school to get the feel they're looking for. 2009 on the wireless right here. Come on.
True story.
That's
exactly
right.
It might be putting a little bit of radiation out, but she works a lot better, a little asbestos in there too.
I'm willing to risk it.
Well, Trent, you were a trooper last night. Trent, how about Carlos Amata Jr. rolling to the flag stand right now? Is he not one of the most improved drivers in the country over the past few years?
No question about it. And you know what? Part of what does that is they got out and got out to racing and got to a lot of new places. And, he had his highs and he had his lows. And I think, out of a young driver, especially when they really get out on the road and race, that's just common, no matter what division it is. If it's sprint cars, if it's down to modifieds, late models, whatever it is, you're going to take your lumps, but find your successes too. And Amata Jr. certainly has a lot of talent. It's neat to see him here. The car looks great. It's another great operation, and just always thrilled to watch him and their entire team race.
Trent, we also talk about drivers coming up through the ranks. We talk about Dylan McCowan, and he's a driver that's worked his way up through the B-Mod ranks and starting to race more and more in the A-Mods. There's a lot of talent coming out of that Lucas Oil Speedway area. There's so many good drivers on a weekly basis.
Well, it is, and it's crazy what that place means for racing in the Ozarks, That USRA Nationals this year really shined a bright light on how strong that racetrack is and how much homegrown support. And Dylan McCowan, I live about 10 minutes from their house and their race shop, so he is. I watched him the very first year in a B-Mod, and he and his dad Charlie, his grandpa AD, has helped put a lot of racers on the racetrack locally throughout the years. And this is kind of Dylan's time to shine right here. He actually would be a senior in high school, and they've homeschooled. Dylan's been homeschooled here for the last little bit so they can really get out and race some more, but he would be a senior in high school this year. So neat to see what they've done. They've really been out racing quite a bit. They're going to run a handful of USMTS races, plan to follow the American Racer Modified Series as well this year. And Lucas Oil Speedway track champion, man, he was passing for fourth or fifth in the USMTS race there back in August, and I was standing watching the race in the infield, and I thought, my goodness, this kid has really turned the corner in his racing career, and is somebody that you're going to have to keep an eye on. And glad to see him out here racing as well, getting started early this year.
Well, we'll see what he can do here tonight. He was a driver that's kind of on the fence if he's going to get to come or not, and they did make it out. As you've seen, if you're watching at home at Flow Racing, they've been over there working with the shovels. And I thought, Dustin, you were going to go down there. I saw you put the mic down. Then you started eating chocolate, and I realized you were not going to help him dry that water up that got put down on the racetrack in that last hot lap session.
Swiss chocolate got the best of me, sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
we were looking at it earlier. Luckily this ginormous, authentic Swiss chocolate bar is low both in calories and sugar.
Well, it's only 180 calories if you eat one piece of it, apparently.
There's like 20 pieces in there,
That's the unfortunate
though,
part, and it will not see the light of day of tomorrow.
No, it's not
perish
likely
tonight.
Yep. It was a good run. It was a good run.
So right now, it looks like we just about got things squared up over there.
Just a bit outside.
It was a little bit of a government job over there. We had one dude with a shovel and 7 guys watching him over in turn number 2 as
Also
everybody's.
kind of like our wireless microphone work up here on practice night, too.
And last night.
And last night, that's right.
I resent that comment.
And no, you were the one working, actually. The rest of us were standing around
Hey,
watching.
Trenton, I think it's worth noting that where you're at right now, there was no signal at any point this weekend before today.
0.
That's our crowning achievement.
Yeah. Look at this. We're just
at you.
moseying on. If somebody could somebody bring me a coffee, please, right
Yeah,
here?
you're just showing off now.
Yeah.
You're just showing. Nobody likes a
Let's
bragger,
see.
Trent.
Did you get coffee this morning, Trent?
Yeah, I did.
Did you go to Beck's or Pikachu, or which one did you go to?
Went to the one by the University, Milagro.
Oh,
Best
Scott Brothers.
Best
okay.
one. Best one I've been to so far, DJ.
Oh.
Open on Sunday as well.
Oh, wow. Milagro, okay.
I guess today is Sunday, isn't it? All
It
these
is.
days
No,
run
I have
together
no
on
idea,
you. I guess
yeah.
it is Sunday.
Just wait till you leave for Speed Weeks for like 28 days straight.
Don't get me started. All right, the C&D bonding green flag is out, and
A little bit of smoke coming out from Tanner Mullins 0-2 over there in turns 3 and 4. Keep an eye on that situation.
yeah, definitely a little bit of smoke coming out of the back of that race cars.
Those of you at home watching Rodney Sanders, we talked about the good run he had last night, that pink 0-2 of Tanner Mullins. He just backed off the throttle there, I think, to get back away from the 28 of Ronnie Leatham Jr. Got just a flash of smoke coming out from underneath that car, both going into the corner and coming off of the corner. Oh, we picked up an X mod, it looks like.
Well, we added one and we lost one. Riggs is out, but we added the 36 of Joe Alvarado out of El Paso, Texas. So easy come, easy go. As we will
Be a
move
great
that
name
to
for a
back
song.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I said it'd make a great song, it sounds
A
like.
hair band song for sure. All right. Well, now Casey Fowler. I'll tell you what, these mods are having a tough time
Wow.
today.
Yeah.
And Hot Laps, Midwest Sheet Metal Caution's out. And the Grand Saline, Texas driver, Casey Fowler in car 64, he'll get pushed back to the pits.
Well, we should have known whenever we pushed Hot Laps back 30 minutes because things went so smooth in Hot Laps and qualifying
jinxed
last
it.
night. Yeah.
We jinxed it.
Let me get it all out of the way now.
Yeah,
We
let's
don't have to
just
worry
knock it
about
down.
later on.
Got the racetrack ironed in nicely. We've had 25 mods make their way out roughly. 53 in the pit area here today, and the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods presented by Rancho Milagro.
Brooke Strength right now, the fastest driver in the Hot Lap session with a 16.698. He's the only driver right now in that 16-second bracket. I think we're going to see a few other guys jump up there, though, here in this Hot Lap session. Number one, there's a lot of really, really strong cars out there. And then number two, as we've talked about, this track just continues to get a little bit better as they get the slime off of it.
How about Patrick Daniel out there on the racetrack? And car number 87M, head driver had a pretty solid run last night. The Wills Point, Texas driver, the JGM Cleaning Waste Equipment, Cornet Lightning Powered MB Customs entry. As he works off through turns 1 and 2, you see on your screen. Oh, hang on to it. Brooke Strength had to get on the binders, and Dustin Robinson just barely made a little bit of contact with him before he got slowed up. As Tanner Mullins will go around him in the 0-2, and no harm, no fouls. Everybody's back on the loud pedal as the white flag flies. One more lap for this set of Hot Laps. Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods presented by Rancho Milagro.
Brooke Strength, well, just we say that Derek Ramirez goes to the top of the leaderboard here in Hot Laps with a 16.691.
He's back.
Oh, he's back, yes.
Back.
Yeah. And for those of you that maybe did not tune in last night, Derek Ramirez right there on your screen started up front, and as you can see, what is just a phenomenal field of modifieds and just completely obliterated the field with a 4.2 second win.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's decent. That's not bad. A 4.2 second win for the Woodward
On
Oklahoma
a track where they're
driver.
making 17-second
Yes,
laps.
I know. And again, here's the thing. Here's how close everyone was really from second on back. He only lapped about 4 guys, though. I mean, it's just it was a remarkable run. And the racing from second on back was really some of the best racing that we saw all night last night. Trenton, you got something?
I did have some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
I did see the photo and reference from Brandon Shepard's Victory Lane speech last night.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
what did you learn from it?
Well, it was quite a ways away. It was towards the front of the race car, and if you zoom in on it, Shepard dead-eyed the photographer.
Oh, my.
Caught totally red-handed.
Wow, stank
But-
eye. Wow.
But yeah, stank eye for sure. But it was not under the car, and it was not of the back of the car, at least what I saw.
All right.
But there was a photograph that does exist.
But somebody still got the stank eye from the Sheppy guy. So that's wow.
Stank guy from the Sheppy guy is 100%.
Oh man, yeah, Super Shep comes out there and he'll go King Kong mode and run up in front of that monster truck style.
I thought we were just amongst our closest friends. I should just let you guys know.
We're not going to tell anybody else, Trent. You're good with us.
Perfect.
Well, the 127 of Peyton Phillips used to be the 98, the 127. So if I understand correctly, when he met his wife, she raced go-karts. She was number 12.
Mm-hmm. And that's why he's got the big 12 on the side of the car, as you can see right there. The little 7 after it.
Yep, I think they started dating around the 12th.
Okay.
And then I think their child was born on the 7th, so the 127. So no longer the 98. The 127.
Got the 12 with the small 7.
That's right.
Okay.
Mini, the Chinook, Kansas driver, and the Bills built Danny Crane race engine, Phillips Law Group entry. Behind him, the guy that I jinxed by picking him to win last night, so of course he didn't. Tyler Wolf out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, an elusive competition engine, MB Customs number 4W.
You're not getting any Christmas gifts from him. Behind of him, Nathan Smith in the 88. Mark Smith in the 2SS. The two drivers behind of them. There's Nathan Smith in the 88 and his pseudo teammate Mark Smith behind of him in the black 2SS. They'll be followed out by the Oklahoma native Ben, Jared Russell in the 4.
That's right. Riding right behind them in car number 24. That is going to be the 24, Xavier Ortega out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, the Lift Arm Construction Ballistic Manufacturing GRT. And one of the Gallardos working his way around. As they get closer, it's hard to see if it's the G or the J on there, and that is going to be the J17. Yep, that'll be Jake Gallardo out of Las Cruces. Behind him, it'll be car number 18 of Ricardo Olaki Jr. out of El Paso, Texas. The Barnett Racing Engine Vanderbilt chassis, sponsored by Mesilla Valley Transportation and JLD Construction. As green flag is back out, DJ Shannon in the number 32 in this set as well. The Merced, California driver, the Shannon Pump Company, Pro Power Racing Engine Vanderbilt race car. And the 131, the owner here at FK Ride-Ins Vado Speedway Park. It's Royal Jones, last year's USRA Modified Track Champion here at the Speedway. And the Rancho Milagro, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Red Hawk Golf Club 131. 2 wins last year. They came in the 305 Sprint Car division. He does a little bit of everything. Royal just likes to go fast.
I was actually going to ask you if you could carry the broadcast for a few minutes, man, because I've got my phone out. I'm setting my dirtdraft.com fantasy lineup.
Somebody's got to finish last. Might as well be you.
I was very close to it, I think, in all 3 divisions last night. There's only one way to go, though. That's the good news, right?
No, there's somebody else could enter. You could actually get into the 70s if more people enter it, so you could go down.
Well, that wouldn't be good.
As we look at the times, Nathan Smith, number 88, the Anthony, New Mexico driver, to the top of the leaderboard. Fastest lap so far is 16.487 in that Viva Auto Group. Rio Valley Biofuel Transport, number 88. Jake Gallardo, second fastest. Jake had a little bit of a struggle night last night, trying to bounce back here tonight. Then it's Peyton Phillips, third fastest in that 127, and Derek Ramirez, fourth fastest, as the Hoker Trucking checkered flag drops on the competition. And we'll see. I think we may have one more wave of mods making their way out.
Let's see, 34 of the 53 modifieds, yeah.
If you do a little math, take off your shoes and socks so you can use your toes.
Carry
the knot.
I mean, I'm really struggling looking at this right now.
Because you can't see because you don't have your contacts in?
No, I actually do have them in. Okay. Yeah, as we all saw this morning. Other than you, we're all blind as a bat, me and Dustin McCarty.
Those glasses you've got, DJ, you could kill ants from outer space burning them with how thick those glasses are.
I do that occasionally, actually, when I fly. Yeah,
because it'd be stupid not to.
If you angle it the right way.
Fito Gallardo
pulling double duty, by the way.
That is. Fito's out on the speedway in his mod, car number 17G. And behind him, that'll be Chase Sigg making his way out to the speedway in that 18 Junior, the driver coming to us out of Humboldt, Kansas, the signature race engine, MB Custom Sig Tire and Repair entry. Also in this set, we are going to have the number 88 in the middle of turns 1 and 2. That'll be Matt Crafton, 3-time NASCAR Camping World Truck Series champion, rolling out of turn 2 down the back straightaway in the 88, the Vado Speedway Park, Red Hawk Golf Club, Vanderbilt chassis for Matt Crafton.
Tyler Davis behind of him, Ben, in the 65, regular on the Summit Racing Equipment USMTS Modified Tour, and one other driver on the Speedway, Dan Ebert.
That's right, Dan Ebert's out there. Also, one more that we looked right past, that'll be Brandon Givens out of Wichita, Kansas, and the HRE-powered GRT race car. Emery Sapp and Sons Mac Eck Real Estate Cart 10B for Brandon Givens.
And then there's a look at Tyler Davis. Those of you watching at home, behind him, Dan Ebert, another driver that pulled out a second car, a backup car this evening. I did not get to talk to Dan, but that looks like maybe his Wissota modified. I'm not positive on that. It's just Trenton Berry, what do you got?
I'll jump in there on that. A couple of years ago, USRA mandated full closed sail panels, so open sail panels legal in Wissota. He put the Lex inside of those tonight, so Wissota car.
So it is the Wissota car. Thank you. You just made me look good, Trent. Thank you.
Hey, listen, I'll do what I can.
I mean, you get a microphone that works, and he just starts looking out for everybody.
I know.
It's the simple things in
you
life,
get your
my
microphone
friends.
that works, you come to find out Trenton's actually pretty good and knows what he's talking about, you know?
I mean, I knew it. I mean, you're going to hate on him. I knew he's very good at what he does.
He is one of the best, and we're real happy to have Trenton Berry from Racing Dirt here with us. For the 16th annual running of the Wild West Shootout presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts, Nathan Smith still the fastest driver in USRA modified hot laps right now with a 1:6.487. Jake Gallardo second quick. Tyler Davis laying down a good lap, third quick. Has absolutely no bearing on their heat races because these 53 modifieds have drawn pills for their starting spots in tonight's 4 heat races. And they will race their way into the show via the passing point system. We'll take the top 16 drivers in passing points, lock them into the A main, and the balance of the field will run one of 2 B mains a little bit later on this evening. And with this checkered flag waving, that will end the hot laps here this evening for both modified divisions. Momentarily, we will roll into our hot lap qualifying session for the Dirt Track Bank Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. Dan Ebert will go to the top of the modified leaderboard in hot laps. 1:6.389 his lap time. Tyler Davis second quick in modified hot laps. Nathan Smith third fastest. Matt Crafton fourth quick. And Fito Gallardo fifth quick.
Well, we're going to shift gears once again in just a moment as we'll be getting underway with Sport Truck RV Super Late Model Qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. Group A and B. Group A will keep heat races 1 and 2. Group B will be heat races 3 and 4. I want to thank Sport Truck RV, the nation's leader in the racing's transportation market. Visit them at sporttruckrv.com or stop down in the pits and visit their display to discuss your next hauler. Sport Truck RV, the #1 motorsports dealer in the country. And also Screven Motor Speedway. Their Winter Freeze 12 is February 3rd through 5th. Renegades of Dirt Modified, 602 Bandits, $10,000 to win Southern All-Star Late Models, and $18,000 to win SCDRA Sport Compacts. For more info, go to ScrevenMotorsports.com and also find them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Last night, Bobby Pierce set fast time of 15.947. Not only get $100 for setting quick time, he's also the leader out of the clubhouse right now in the Rio Grande Waste Services $1,000 Shock the Clock Challenge. The fastest qualifier of the week will get $1,000 when the week is over, as the first 3 qualifiers are making their way out to the speedway, and it's going to be Terry Carter in the T6 car, the Fort Saskatchewan, Canada driver. He's the first one out, the Black Diamond race car. Good Guys, Clements powered entry behind him in car number 14. That'll be Dustin Walker. Dustin coming to us out of Polk, Missouri. The MB Custom Pro Power Ford, W&W Utility Construction, All-Terrain Directional Drilling, and Fed Up Cattle Company, 14W. And third qualifier in this set will be cart number 19. That'll be Jeff Schildmeyer out of Las Vegas, Nevada. The Veterans Vitality, Americare, Wiki Tax Advisors, Domination Chassis with Mullins Power.
Terry Carter going to be the first driver to cross the stripe, 1:5.593. Carter raced his way into the show yesterday evening. Dustin Walker to the top of the leaderboard, 15.320. And Jeff Schildmeyer third quick right now with a 1:5.888 second lap time for the Alberta, Canada driver. Terry Carter now better, 1:4.942. Dustin Walker second lap is better, but he'll be second quick, 1:4.959. And Jeff Schildmeyer's second lap not as good. He'll be third quick. So Terry Carter laying down the early time to beat with a lap of 1:4.942.
Coming up next, it'll be Dustin Knight out of Central Point, Oregon. Quite a story on him a little bit later in the Rap Racing Engine Masters Built